Click.
Welcome back, everyone, to one of the last matches of the weekend here in the Mania World Cup, 4K World Cup quarterfinals. That is here. We are here with the last of the winners bracket matches. I do believe it is Hong Kong versus United Kingdom, number 4 versus seed number 5 in what is going to be, I think, a very close matchup. I'm Potassium F, commentating alongside Eliminate. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for the introduction. Yeah, these two teams, Hong Kong and UK, are both powerhouses of teams. With Hong Kong sitting 10 places higher, I believe, than they did last year, and UK being much more versatile in the skill sets that are really tested in this tournament. This is going to be a banger of a match to watch. Now, as usual, UK are definitely a team that are capable of out-comboing their opponents, a very consistent team, very dominant in the race field as well, whereas Hong Kong have been playing really well in the hybrid and long note section to contrast that. But make no mistake, both teams know what each team is capable of, and having played against each other in 2024, where Hong Kong managed to grasp it at the last possible moment in tiebreaker, I am expecting to see another match somewhat similar to that.
Absolutely. UK out there looking for revenge from that last match last year as well. This year, I mean, looking even stronger as well is United Kingdom, especially. As you said, the Rice Maps, they have been one of the strongest teams in the whole tournament by far on a lot of these picks.
Yeah, and it's whether or not the difficulty increase into quarterfinals is going to change that. Now, UK obviously being arguably one of the best Rice teams in this tournament. I do have a little bit of insider information, I suppose. I was sent a few screenshots, so I could see what UK is capable of, and definitely a worrying team to face. But Hong Kong, as I said, having improved so much from last year, and their LN and hybrid abilities are just so strong that this is most likely going to be a Rice versus LN battle. But even saying that, UK have improved significantly in the LN field, so definitely in for a good one today. But whether or not Hong Kong is going to opt into banning the Rice, I do think that is probably going to be the call. What do you think?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I feel like both teams have their clear preferences in this matchup. There's going to be a very clear divide on what gets picked and banned, but I think at the same time, with the players of this caliber on both of the teams, there's not really going to be any pick that I can imagine being fully one-sided or a free win for either of them. I think both teams can contend on every single one of these picks in the pool.
Yeah, I guess maybe one map that would stand out to me for Hong Kong would be the LN1. I think UK does have that slight struggle with the LN releases, but outside of that, yeah, this is going to be really close maps.
Rice 5 Protect
Rice 5
is
Protect.
very interesting.
This is actually something you would somewhat expect. UK, knowing that they're probably better off in the Rice section, you want to probably protect the more technical, the more physical maps. So Rice 5, not super surprising, I'd say.
And I guess as well, you're expecting Hong Kong to be fairly comfortable on the more straightforward Rice maps as well, so you're not expecting Hong Kong necessarily to ban those ones out. I guess making a lot of sense in hindsight here, and Hong Kong protecting the LN1 just like you were mentioning before.
And I wouldn't be surprised to actually see an LN1 chosen almost immediately. But yeah, opting to ban Rice 1. This is, another expected ban. Rice 1, the speed pick. UK probably very dominant in this one as well. I think UK are going to get really good scores on the Rice 5, 6, and 7, whereas the other Rice maps 2, 3, and 4 are going to be very, very competitive. But on the hybrid and LN side of things, Hong Kong I think are going to be dominant, especially on the LN1, but the other LNs and maybe some of the hybrids are going to be very close as well. So I think each team have got their comfort picks, definitely, but outside of that, it's going to be hard to tell.
UK also opting to ban for the hybrid too, instead of any of the LN picks as well. So maybe one that they're just a little bit less comfortable with, less consistent with overall. There is a lot of LN usage in that map too, so also telling in that regard.
But now it's UK's first pick, and I wouldn't be surprised to see an immediate Rice 5, even a Rice 6 maybe. I think those two definitely no-brainers. But Rice 3 instead, we're going for the consistency stamina. Okay, not what I expected first, but definitely a pick.
Accuracy test going to be coming in from this first pick from the UK at least. And this pick always gets me nervous when I've been watching it this weekend, because these players, this year are so strong that we're seeing like consistent like 99.9s across the board, despite it being 240 BPM. So any real small mistake, any miss that we might see from either side is going to be enough to potentially cost the point immediately.
Yeah, that's just what this map really comes down to, is all in that accuracy, all in that combo. If any of these players find this miss, but with how strong every single player is in this lobby, I would be surprised if anyone missed, to be honest. I think it's going to come down to pure ratio. Maybe one player finds an extra 200 that's going to cost it. This could very well be within 1,000 points of a difference between these two teams. And that really makes me really question this pick. Rice 3 is their very first pick. Surely you'd want to pick something a bit more technical or something more physical and really try to get Hong Kong to miss on a skill set that you were so strong on. But UK, I guess they've just got a lot of practice on this, right?
Yeah, I kind of agree. Like, get the ball rolling on something maybe you're a bit more favored on relatively would be a good way to start off the match at least. But yeah, this one is a very dangerous one because I do think United States overall probably have a little bit of an accuracy advantage. It's also not going to be a massive one because I think against most other teams in this whole tournament, Hong Kong would have the accuracy advantage on something like this.
I definitely agree, but with this being UK's first pick, I guess maybe we could be mistaken. Maybe they have sunk in the hours and dedication into this map that they feel as though they just have the better scores on. But as we said, time will tell. This map is 3 minutes, 21 seconds, so plenty of time for things to go wrong. Plenty of time for chokes to happen. And we'll see if Hong Kong can take the very first breakpoint on the Rice 3, and I think this is actually a very good shot of that happening on this map.
Definitely one of the biggest potential Rice maps for Hong Kong to be able to take a breakpoint off of, but we'll see what happens. United Kingdom obviously very confident with this one going into it as the first pick. And here we go, starting out.
This map very quickly picks up. Very, very easy first 10 seconds, but then when it starts. The 240 BPM jump stream begins now, and this is the point of no return. Stamina will start to have an effect.
Oh, Ian actually dropping a lot of accuracy at the intro there. Rush of Judgments down to 99.6 briefly.
It's still very early days though. You still have Newson hanging above 99.97, Zubin not far behind 99.5. Matched though by Kosh with 99.97%, but outside of that, this is really the difference between Ayan and Koshin and Kuriha. But still way too early to tell.
Crazy high accuracies across the board. 5 players above that 99.9, and it's Ayan going to look to try and match that, actually increasing the accuracy quite quickly as well, already at 99.85, so that act is definitely going to get up to that 99.9 range if given enough time here.
The score difference is so close. Definitely showing why this pick is risky. Now it should be mentioned that Hong Kong in their previous match, round of 16, they did not FC a single map, so maybe that's the reasoning behind picking this, just assuming that Hong Kong haven't got that consistency. But this week is a different week. It's a new day, quarterfinals, new map pool, and Hong Kong looking much stronger in that regard.
Oh, but UK's catching up. This lead is being overtaken by them. Ayan managing to hit that 99.9 now. And the difference between the two teams' accuracies is absolutely nothing. Zubin and Yusin both with the 2 highest accuracies in the lobby right now. And Koshin does find the first miss.
And that's something that we've seen from Hong Kong time and time again. Their accuracies are phenomenal, very good, but one choke can cost them. And with how consistent UK are looking, this is not a good sign for Hong Kong at all. Already up to 6,000 points of a lead in the last third of the map. But stamina still can take a toll. There is still time for more chokes to happen. This is the last break that these players are going to get. Can UK hold on to this lead they have? But Ayan misses on the break. 2 misses. That's going to get the lead back to Hong Kong at the slowest section of the map.
Yeah, the accuracy from Iron drops down below as well. Quotient beating out in the accuracy department as well. Look at this lead. Less than 1,000 points for the United Kingdom, but it's going to not switch over. Oh my god, Koshapen with the unfortunate miss. UK might have been saved at the end of this map.
This is not typical for either team. Both teams finding misses. Hong Kong finding two from two different players. Ion finding two misses at the slowest section of the map, but overall, UK will come out on top. Two players missing is much worse than just one, and 5,000 lead into the outro in what could have been a disaster. It looks like UK are going to be able to hold on to this, such a small lead that they had, and wow, Race 3, the first map that they choose, definitely should not have been that risky or that close. UK do take the point, but at what cost?
That was way too close for comfort there for the UK. And look at the scores overall, 0-200s to be seen for any player. And we can definitely see the accuracy advantage does lie with the UK as well with those ratios.
2 998s from UK. Kuriha with 997, but it really came down to Quotient and Kosh finding those misses. Now, if there were no misses at all in this lobby, UK would still take it on accuracy alone, but I think it was really that miss from Kosh there towards the end that really sealed the deal. But overall, Hong Kong definitely put up a very good fight and proving that they are capable of fighting back on this Rice map pool, and I would not be surprised to see more points that close in the future maps. But now it is Hong Kong's pick, Hong Kong's time to fight back, and I'm expecting an LN1 just straight out the gate here.
Yeah, would be important just for Hong Kong to get on the board first, of course, to respond to that first win from the UK. And then both teams would just be able to kind of shake off that first map. It is, after all, the expected result with the first pick being taken by the one that picked it. But it's going to be LN3, actually. We're going with a lot more of a technical pick for the LNs.
This map, we've definitely seen a lot of crazy performances on throughout the quarterfinals round already. This map, 3 minutes long, though, does have a very long extended outro and a somewhat long intro as well. So when this map picks up, it does pick up very fast. Not too sure how to feel about this being the first pick, but still definitely, I think, in Hong Kong's wheelhouse. Shouldn't really see many struggles from these players at all, but as you said, this map being technical, maybe a single miss or two can come out from these players unexpectedly.
We'll see what ends up happening here, whether United Kingdom can try and win a breakpoint of their own. And we'll see who the third player ends up joining here. I believe Ting Momentum, yeah, for United Kingdom is usually going to be one of those really strong LN players.
It's crazy to see all 6 of these players in the same lobby together. All 6 players very well versed in Mania as a game mode. All players very strong players, very good players, and to have to go against each other so soon into the tournament, it's definitely a wild matchup. Round 3, definitely testing consistency here. Who will find the first miss? And so far, it seems like UK are in fact beatable on the back of Ion finding a pretty ugly miss at that break section. So hopefully that doesn't happen again for UK. If it doesn't, then a very strong performance could be coming out from both teams. But Hong Kong really should be taking this pick.
That is definitely what they would want to happen, but let's see how this one plays out. This one, definitely a map that invites a lot of misses throughout it. Very technical one at that. So combo, once again, going to be a bit of a focus for some of these teams as well.
Accuracy as well. If the combo isn't there, if one team does trump the other a lot in accuracy, that can take them the point.
It's a nice and long 100% for Ion there at the start there. It lasted about 100 notes.
Quickly removed now by the LNs that come into play.
Understandably.
The score lead is going to keep flickering back and forth between these two teams for as long as it takes until one player blinks first, really.
Yeah, the intensity rising all throughout this section. A lot of 200s being dropped by either side, but mostly being traded out, it seems. And dust settles here. Ion does drop a fair bit of accuracy down to 99.5 after that intro, but still not enough for Hong Kong to pull away with any kind of lead.
It does seem like they have the slightest advantage by only a few 300s, but still yet to approach the hardest part of this map. This part is already hard enough, though, that some players are dropping a bit of accuracy, that now I think the UK actually has the slightest of leads, but still going back and forth. Way too early to tell who's actually winning.
Does drop in accuracy just a little bit throughout that section now. Ion being very close to him as well. And Koshapen actually drops the act down from the 99.6 range as well. Now UK has the definite act lead going into the second half of this map.
But can he hold on to it is the question. As we exit the very first section of the map into the next, and everyone's still holding on. No misses yet. All 6 players holding on to that FC. Accuracy still looking strong, but really you have Tink momentum. Oh, Kosh the first to find a miss.
That's going to increase that score lead. United Kingdom on the verge of winning this breakpoint if they can hold it out for this last section. This map is about to end right now, and Minato Aquafan does get one more miss at the end. Not too much map left to really miss on for UK. This 18,000 points. As long as they hold out through this section, this is going to be a breakpoint early on in the match.
A very early breakpoint given indeed, and this is against a team that is one higher seed than you. Very competitive already, seed 4 versus seed 5. So for UK to take that breakpoint super early on, it's a very good sign if you're rooting for the UK. But Hong Kong have definitely got a lot more in the bag. The whole LN and hybrid collection available to them. But UK now in the driver's seat. They get to choose next. With how close that last race map was, I think it's definitely doable.
Yeah, but 3-way FC for UK, that is such a strong team performance. I don't think we've seen many 3-way FCs at all on a map like this. And I mean, look, Mini Egg getting a Scorvy1 double S at that.
Very crazy scores all around. I mean, the fact that the total combined 200 count for the UK is 7 and total from Hong Kong is 10. That is just how close this match is. And even the ratio is not that far off either. Really came down to those misses from Hong Kong there. Once again.
Yeah, the smallest of margins separating these two teams, but it's Hong Kong finding a little bit more mistakes so far in these first 2 maps. That's what's decided it. And now they are the ones that have to win a break point if they want to be able to tie this game back up later on.
But it's UK's pick. And this is now where I'm expecting a race 5, 6, or 7. I think all are very good choices. Race 2, race 4, I think way too risky. And I wouldn't even bother touching the hybrid or LN pool here.
Yeah, let Hong Kong do that. LN and hybrid picking, I would say, for UK. Stick with what they're comfortable with. But I think this is definitely a good point in the match to be able to just slam down your protect. Rise 5 right away. Ensure that you get the best chance of that 3-0 lead.
Definitely put the nerves into Hong Kong if you're up that. But they opt for race 7 instead. One of the shortest maps in the pool. Very technical, very dumpy. And polyrhythmic, so this map kind of has it all, and very easy to find those misses and give over a 20,000 point lead in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, the point swings on this map have been absolutely gigantic. If anyone finds a messy miss at any point, then that lead will just completely shoot towards the other direction. And that does kind of sound dangerous for the UK a little bit, but at the same time, it's not them that's been finding those big misses so far this match.
Yeah, so far UK has only found 2 misses in total across the 2 maps that have been played. So definitely looking much stronger in the consistency side of things. maybe the reasoning as to why we're playing Rice 7 so early. I don't think this is a bad pick necessarily. I think it's actually a good pick for UK. But there is just that risk where one player finds a drop and just like that, all your lead is gone. You give back the breakpoint and suddenly Hong Kong are back in the match.
Absolutely, but I guess the same could be said to some extent with most of the maps in the pool as well. So that risk is kind of inherent in the match itself. You can't get away from being pushed to your absolute limit here against these players.
All players are ready, and of course, as one said, this map is very short, so this map will be over by the time you know it. This thing will happen very quickly. Misses, 200s, 100s, even 300s. Anything will play a factor into a score lead in this map, and it will all happen so fast. Definitely potential here for Hong Kong.
And it's going to get right into it early on here.
This map is so scary to watch, so scary to see, and probably very scary for these players to play as well. All the nerves from those first two maps now coming into play in the Rice 7. UK taking the slightest of leads, but with a lead on a 1 minute long map, it is pretty deceiving.
Yeah, small leads like this are basically negligible, as we're still yet to see any big mistakes so far happen in the map. We're halfway through it already, and these patterns are just going to get more and more aggressive now as the second half of the map's coming in. If anyone finds a couple of 200s even would be enough to give Hong Kong the lead.
But this lead is not shifting. UK just winning on a few 300s. It's actually Spanner Dude to have the lowest accuracy in the lobby, but Ion and Zubin just taking it away with 99.92% AC each. These two players looking super comfortable, and if no drops are seen for the next few seconds of the map, UK will take this point with a 3,000 point lead throughout the entire map.
And there's no way we're about to see a 6-way FC at the end of this map. Not a single mistake being made by any of the players, and UK wins on the accuracy. I don't think I have seen this map being won on accuracy. That's 5 SSs. My God. 5 SSs.
1 200 in the entire lobby is absolutely insane, especially on a Rice 7. What is this lobby? The fact that Hong Kong with triple V1SS is still unable to beat UK with 1 200. The ratio difference. And even the ratio difference is not that much. It just adds up in a map this short.
That is absolutely ridiculous. I cannot believe that we see a team score like that from Hong Kong that loses. But United Kingdom are just showing how strong they are at these Rice ratio. This accuracy and consistency from them is easily one of the best in the tournament.
I mean, that team score from both teams looked super strong that honestly, even for UK, that did not feel comfortable. That was not a comfortable win, even though they had the lead by 2,000 points for the entire map. By no means was that a very easy point for UK to take. Hong Kong put up an insane fight with the triple V1SS, and what does that go to show for the next few Rice maps that are going to be picked? But LN won before even though it does look like, 3 points of a difference, all they really need is just one breakpoint against UK to tie things up.
And we have already seen how possible that is.
They just can't mess things up. They need to lock in this point. If they lose this LN1, things are going to be looking. Expected their most comfortable pick for Hong Kong. Definitely good reason to have picked it now, being 3 points down. Now getting their first point on the board. And look at these 200 counts from Hong Kong. 4 for 2 players, and Kosh with 1 200. Very strong in the LN release section. Now, can they keep it going forward into their next few LN or maybe hybrid picks? But they still do need testing pick. I mean, Rice 3 was already close enough. This is just I guess you could say, an easier Rice, well, not easier, but a denser, a faster Rice 3. So this is going to be pretty close again, I feel. This is super risky pick for UK to opt into, and Hong Kong's probably best shot of taking back that breakpoint, honestly.
We'll see if this ends up being a mispick, because I am definitely concerned with the kind of point leads we're going to be getting halfway through this map. Would not be good for my heart.
This map is shorter than the Rice 3 though, by a minute. The BPM is increased by 12, 252 BPM, and that 12 BPM difference does make a significant impact on how the map is played. So maybe prone to more misses happening, more accuracy drops, but Hong Kong, they cannot afford to find these misses. This is a really good test of their consistency. Can they pull out now? Can they take back this breakpoint on the Rice 2? Or can UK solidify their lead and go up 4-1?
We'll have to see. The ratio battle continues once again. UK definitely with the advantage. Last time we saw the jump stream coming out.
Yeah, and the ratios already throughout this match has been very close together, has been slightly favorable towards the UK, but as we saw in that last map, UK were prone to hitting a few more 200s. Of course, that's LN, this is Rice, a whole different story, but the one here is perfect.
Kuraha and Yusin both dropping a little bit of accuracy here, still tied between the two teams, but it looks like Zubin right now is the one to pull ahead ever so slightly in the act department. Not quite enough to give any kind of lead though, as both teams still hovering back and forth. No lead to speak of still.
This is exactly what we would expect from a Rice 2, especially between these two teams. Of all the teams in the tournament, this is as close as it gets. I actually think that the score difference right now may just be 0. It's going back and forth. It's not going to any one team for any amount of time. Already halfway through the map.
You cannot trust that bar at all. What I actually can't tell who has the lead. These are dead even accuracies across the board. No one has an advantage. 99.95 is the highest, 99.93 is the lowest. What are we watching?
I mean, just based on these accuracies alone, it does look like UK are winning, but accuracy doesn't just determine who's in the lead. It does seem like they are, though, by a couple 100 points. Only a few 300s or even a 200 can make all the difference here in the last quarter of the map. Stamina might play a factor too, but does anything happen? Do we see any drops, any misses, any 200s? There is still one section.
This last section, it's all going to be decided here. It looks like UK starting to pull ahead a little bit. Zubin now ahead of the rest, but Yusin finds a break at the end! And now Hong Kong just need to hold on to their combos.
Hong Kong, if they can hold on to this combo, accuracy shouldn't play much of a factor. They will take the breakpoint away from UK. They take their breakpoint back. The score is now 2-3, and it's Hong Kong next to pick. All of a sudden, they're now back into the game. No more deficits.
Fully back in. We may as well be looking at a tied match once again. The smallest of margins in the end, and Hong Kong take it back 2-3. And in hindsight now again, we can say this maybe was a bit too risky of a pick from the UK.
My hand was over my mouth for that ending. That was so close, and Hong Kong managed to pull out the hat on consistency alone against the UK, the team that is known for their Rice consistency. Lose out to Hong Kong on the Rice 2. Now it's Hong Kong's pick. They did lose the LN3, so LN might not just be too free, might not be as much of a given.
We still have a hybrid pool as well. Hong Kong very strong on the hybrids themselves. I'm looking at something like a hybrid 1 potentially being picked up here if they want to go to it.
unbelievable team performances there from both teams. And this is just the pattern that we're going to be seeing in this match. I don't think it's going to get any different. These points are going to stay and remain so close. But LN2 is opted by Hong Kong. I don't know what to think of this pick, to be honest. I don't know if it's good or bad. I couldn't say.
I'm not sure if I think it's the best pick from Hong Kong, but again, you know, I'm not sure what would be the best pick for Hong Kong. Maybe LN4 may have been a little bit more release focused to capitalize on that advantage they had in LN1, but this one gonna be much more of the straight up density, straight up jump stream. And I feel like United Kingdom might be pretty good at that themselves.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Yet again, going to be a close map. If that race 2 wasn't close enough, this one, I believe, is going to be the same deal. But Hong Kong, they just want to tie out the score. And this pick is very important to do that. Try to make it out to 3-3. They give up that breakpoint again, and things are going to be as rough as they were before.
Absolutely.
All picks need to be wise from here on.
Super important point of the match here for Hong Kong. They can tie it up after being down 3-0. That'll be a massive momentum swing in their favor for the rest of the match.
But LN2, there's only one more LN in the map pool after this, as the LN4. Whether or not Hong Kong will opt for that is yet to be decided, but they probably will. But we need to get to this LN2 first. 2.5 minute LN jump stream. There is a little bit of release involved too, but not the main factor here. This is going to be probably an accuracy battle. I think all players are going to be very capable of holding onto that combo. But we might even just get another race 2 situation.
And we'll see. The comfort levels should be showing pretty early on this one as we get into the denser patterns in a little bit.
Just this intro alone, the score lead is negligible. Very minimal difference between these two teams. Can't argue that one team has better ratio than the other, but it's actually Kura to find the first miss, and very early on, in fact. That's going to give the very early lead towards UK.
And that's a big act drop as well, down to 99.5. All of UK scores an exceptionally high accuracy as well. Spanner Dude on with a 99.9 right now. And United Kingdom with a solid early lead.
Yeah, 6,000 points just off the first section alone. That only came down to that one miss. This would still be a very tight game if not for that. So UK now just need to hold on to what they've got. If they find a singular miss, that can give the lead back.
Absolutely. Some of the players starting to drop into accuracy a little bit. But Spanner Dude above everyone else right now. Giving that ACK lead over to the UK. Even with a singular miss, a clean miss might not be enough for Hong Kong to take back this lead at this point.
Yeah, they've already worked up their lead to 9,000 points. One miss might only bring the lead down by around 6,000, so might need an ugly miss at that to give the lead back over. Hong Kong cannot afford any more misses or accuracy drops. They need to be as clean as possible in the last section of this map. Does UK find a miss?
It's going to take so much at this point. UK's accuracies, all three of them above the best accuracy on Team Hong Kong. With the 3 FCs, but Im finds a miss there. Fairly clean one though, so it shouldn't actually be enough to flick it over. Oh my god! What's happened to UK?
A team collapse, 3 players missing at one section. Now the score lead is barely in Hong Kong's favor, 3,000 points. One miss can still bring it back over to UK. But do we see it? We see accuracy drops.
Oh my god, less than 1,000 points in the intro.
700 points of difference.
Hong Kong might just have barely escaped death there at the end.
Oh,
and the accuracy from UK was not enough to withstand the full team wipe.
That was the one thing that could have possibly happened to give the lead back to Hong Kong. That was the one thing they needed to avoid, and it's the one thing they did. Hong Kong taking that point yet again on consistency alone. Kuroha missing at the very start, but FCing the rest. United Kingdom with a team collapse in the last 10 seconds of the map. That could have been another breakpoint, but Hong Kong not ready to give it up just yet. We are tying the score at 3-3.
And oh my god, I hope none of the players playing that was watching the stream or look back at the stream just yet, because they were gonna see how close that was at the end.
That was a 15,000 point lead, I believe, in the UK's favor, and right at the end, in an instant, the lead is gone. Hong Kong take that at the very end, but now it's UK's pick, and they finally go for Rice 5.
There has to come now, right? You can't be bleeding any more points over to Hong Kong if you are the UK. It's been 3 in a row for UK, followed by 3 in a row for Hong Kong. And now they're going with what should be one of their strongest picks in the whole pool.
If we see a tiebreaker again between these two teams 2 years in a row, that would just be phenomenal. I would so want that to happen, but we need to go the full distance.
It feels like it's written in the script at this point. It just has to happen. It's fated.
UK, 2 picks left. Same goes for Hong Kong. No more advantage to either team. No more break points. This is back to even Stevens. UK now trying to take it on the Rice 5. And they still have Rice 6 in the bag as well as their next potential pick if they so wish. But Hong Kong now, they do have LN4 available to them, but then it's going to have to be a hybrid after that. So who's really ahead right now? It's too close to tell. All these points are so winnable for either team.
Yeah, even if we are talking about picks that each team will likely make, that doesn't even necessarily mean that they will win, as we've clearly seen in these past few. And it's going to start off here, this one, a very kind of trill, polyrhythm focused technical pick. Very easy to drop, a lot of accuracy quickly.
In a very technical map. Maybe Hong Kong have built up that consistency over time in this match, which we have seen. But UK do just have that accuracy advantage. The lowest accuracy on the UK side is 99.96 from Zubin. Very scary team to go against in the Rice department here, but still only a quarter of the way through the map and 2,000 points difference.
Quotient does drop a little bit in accuracy down to that 99.7 range really quickly, but is going to be able to build back up. So far, UK, all 3 players above 99.9. That's giving them the lead in the act department.
This lead doesn't look like it's really shifting at all. It's going to stay at around 2,000 for as long as it takes until someone finds a drop. But who will be the first to do that? UK maybe feeling the nerves after losing the last 2 points. They know they need to bring it back.
And now, I mean, they know at this point they can't afford any mistakes. They know that both teams know that if they miss, the other team is going to capitalize on that 100%.
But still, I mean, this map, even though it's 2 minutes, it can feel like the longest map in the game, but Koshpen, now the first player to find a miss. That's in the Hong Kong side, so that's going to solidify UK's lead at 10,000. Only a third of map left to go. Even 1 miss from the UK is not enough to bring the lead back. This does look like a UK pick, if anything.
Oh, don't speak too soon. We saw what just happened the previous map. But definitely a very messy miss there from Koshapen.
Oh.
Iron does find a miss, a very clean one, so not going to affect the score too much. And we're just hoping the other 2 UK players hold on to their combo at this point. 7,000 still should be an okay lead for them to close it out on.
Yeah, unless we see any more drops from the UK, this is still looking pretty comfortable, but there is still time. 1 miss. Unless UK just hang on, which it does look like they will into the closing section of the map. They will take their lead up to 4 points, with only 6,000 points of difference between these 2 teams.
Yeah, holding my breath at that ending section just in case something weird did happen at the end there, but it does actually look like if Koshapen didn't find that mess up, Hong Kong would have had enough to be able to capitalize on that miss for sure. But luckily for the UK, they do get through this one. They end up with very strong team score. Again, that's 0 200s on the entirety of the United Kingdom. They are so strong at this accuracy.
This team, definitely, as you said, very strong in Rice. But Hong Kong now, it is their pick. Rice 5, I feel like was a given to the UK. It definitely should have been a pick that I would have suggested they pick earlier, but they get out the way now, they do win, and that might actually be one of the biggest leads in this match so far. Rice 4 from Hong Kong.
Rice 4 being picked by Hong Kong.
That PTSD from last year, man.
Such an interesting pick coming out here. I mean, it is definitely a pick that Hong Kong could win, and I guess United Kingdom were not probably going to pick this at all in the rest of the match, so they want to risk it a little bit here.
I guess the main problem here, though, is if they lose this, now it's UK's pick, and Rice 6 is going to come out, which doesn't look too good for Hong Kong. So I feel like there's a lot on the line here for Hong Kong. This is a must-win pick. I probably would have picked a hybrid or LN first before picking into this. But if they feel confident on it, then we can't blame them.
It's such a scary skill set to leave to this point of the match where you really have to win it if you're Hong Kong.
Cannot afford to lose. And 150 BPM, much higher than last round. Last round, I believe, was 140, so it's only going to keep getting higher. Can these players maintain rather 150 BPM for 2 minutes straight?
I mean, I think the answer is a resounding yes, they can, but will they is the question. With the nerves on the board, they know that any mistake will be punished, that any mistake from Hong Kong could just result in UK straight out winning the match within the next map.
Yeah, and I will say, with personal experience from actually playing in this team, UK are actually not super great at core jack, but with the new addition of Ion and Team Momentum coming back, there is definitely a chance, but this could actually be a good pick for Hong Kong here. Depends if UK find those chokes, which, you know, looking back at it in hindsight, I think could definitely happen.
It could. I mean, we've seen it happen on both sides pretty much evenly throughout this match so far. Misses have been happening across the board.
This map is one of the shorter ones too, 2 minutes 15 seconds. But even still, OD 8.5, we have seen some crazy accuracies on this map throughout this round. Do we see any more here? I'm gonna assume the answer is yes, because Kojak is known for being one of the easier patterns to ratio, but also very easy to mess up if you're not careful.
Yeah, mess ups will cost you massively on a pick like this. But for now, starting off with, of course, very high accuracies out the gate as expected.
And here we go. The map begins. The lead in no one's favor at this moment in time. Spanadude did drop quite a bit of accuracy, down to 99.8 now. The only player in this lobby to be at 99.8, but Ion still at 99.98%, which makes up for that.
Yeah, such high accuracies now. Everyone hitting that 99.9 range. Koshapen actually dropping a little bit below now. So does Spanadude. So the accuracy is basically even. It's only Ion with the exceptionally high accuracy keeping United Kingdom a couple hundred points ahead.
Yeah, 400 points we saw at that LN in favor of UK. But that is the difference of only a few 300s. 1 200 from UK can get the lead over to Hong Kong just like that, and now it starts flickering.
Oh, there's the 200 coming from Spanadude, it looks like, down to 99.88 now, matching Koshapen's score. And it looks like two players on Hong Kong increasing their accuracy ever so slightly. Newsom does as well, though. 99.96 and above on 4 of these players right now. If any of them messes up even a little bit, this lead is going to flick back and forth.
Yeah, Ion's accuracy is so strong right now. 99.98, 99.97 shifting between these two numbers. 600 points of difference it looks like between these two teams with only 1/4 of the map left to go. Yeah, again, 1-200 can be the difference.
Only a little bit left. Will anyone mess up in the last little sections of this map? It looks like Spanadude managing to reach that 99.9. So does Koshapin. And wait a second. The lead is flipped over. Ion found a 200, a couple of 200s at that last section, and that might not be enough. Is that going to be enough for Hong Kong to win?
Yeah, again, in the last section of the map, Hong Kong snatching it away from UK. This was Hong Kong's pick.
What judgment was that? That was 2 100s.
Oh my god. What is this match, dude? What is this match, Potassium?
At single chord, that would have been a single jack at the very end. And look at Hong Kong. They are getting more and more consistent as this match goes on. That is a 3-way double S for Hong Kong.
Honestly, I feel like that was such a risky pick from Hong Kong, and the fact they've picked it and won it, got it out the way, things are looking much better, I would argue. United Kingdom now, they do have one pick left, which I think Rice 6 should be pretty much confirmed at this point. Whereas Hong Kong, even though they still have to get the Rice 6, but what do they pick next? I mean, Hybrid 1, Hybrid 3, none of the hybrids have been picked yet. LN4 still on the board, but we've seen how close the LNs have been, except for LN1. This is getting really sketchy.
Yeah, it feels like you're not really sure what you should pick at this point if you're either of the teams. But I just can't believe that gamble paid off for Hong Kong in the end by the slightest of margins.
It all comes down to one singular choke from any player, and I think that's just what's been happening this entire match. Yeah, Rice 6, as expected, coming out from United Kingdom, trying to push the lead up to 5-6, take themselves to match point. If Hong Kong do take this point, however, though, this break point can prove crucial. Can immediately win them the match.
I wouldn't say immediately, but definitely will put them in a great position to do so. But yeah, this one, every single map has been so ridiculously important so far in the match.
I'm so nervous, man. I'm actually scared watching and casting this match. I've never been so scared before. All these points have been so close. The competition is fierce. Every single point, I believe, has been within 10,000 points.
It's been within like 1,000 points almost every single map until the very end of it. The bar in the middle is really stressing me out in this match.
And there's only 2 maps left to go. Maybe 3 if we even go the full distance. But Rice 6 is going to be the first of 2, potentially 3. Can UK take the lead up to 5? Can Hong Kong take a break point? This is going to be as close as every other point in this match. Nothing will change. The ratios, the accuracy, the miscount, everything is so matched between these two teams. It only makes sense that these teams are seed 4 and seed 5 respectively.
Oh, and it feels like it has to go the full distance. I feel like we would be robbed if we didn't see a tiebreaker between these two teams, but let's see what happens and if we do end up getting there.
But Rice 6, another 3-minute map coming out. We have seen some misses in the first section and some other maps, but they do eventually get countered by either good accuracy or another miss from the opponent. It's just something we see often in this match and other matches alike.
Starting out nice and calm in this one, but we're going to be seeing some very tricky patterns coming in right away, starting now, as it slowly starts building up into the map. Quotient actually getting a little bit of a rough start there, down to 99.5. Give United Kingdom a little bit of an edge early on.
Yeah, I don't really know what happened there. That couldn't have been 300s. That must have been maybe a 100 or a few 200s to impact the accuracy that much. But this is where the map actually begins. The one-hand trills, the high BPM speed dump, whatever section. Spanner Dude can be the first to find the miss. And this is on UK's pick, mind you, so giving away a break point on your last pick of the match, not something you want to be doing, but in such a long map, this one miss might not come back to haunt them, but it also just might.
It's definitely doable for United Kingdom to claw this one back, but the accuracy drop from Spanner Dude, even bigger of an issue right now, dropping down to 99.6. Gonna have to build it back for a while to catch up to the likes of Quotient. But right now, Zubin and Iron both with the highest accuracies in the lobby, so the accuracy is still strong for UK overall.
Yeah, the UK has two 99.9s, Hong Kong doesn't have any, but it's just that consistency across those three players. All three players in Hong Kong having roughly the same accuracy versus Spanner Dude's miss. This was really costing them right now. This lead isn't really going to change much. There's only half of the map left to go, but if Hong Kong keep up their accuracy the way they're doing right now, I don't think UK can really take it back because it's so close. But Kuroha does find that miss to trade back the score now. Suddenly UK are going to take that lead back.
I think they win on the accuracy, yeah. The 99.9s are still there for both of the UK players. And that was Hong Kong's best accuracy on Kuroha, dropping as well down to 99.8. UK have the advantage by just 2,000 points, it looks like.
But these sections are still so rough. Any more misses can come out from any of these players. There is still room for error here from the UK, even though they have a 2,000 point lead. It is such a small lead to be having, with still about maybe 30 seconds of map left to go.
Yeah, any miss could swing this back either way. Still a long outro section. This is really tricky. No one finding any kind of real drops to speak of here.
And now the lead's up to 4,000 points. That seems like it's coming to a close.
They're just going to get through these ending jacks.
Taking back their lead in this map. That was incredibly close though. UK barely taking this point. Now the lead 5-4. One map left to be played before we potentially see a tiebreaker. It all comes down to this. Hong Kong, you have two hybrids, one LN. What's it going to be? The most important decision.
Even pick in this situation, I cannot imagine. The LN4 I feel like is maybe the pick that they'd be tempted to make. I kind of also want to see Hong Kong pick a hybrid though.
Yeah, no hybrids have been picked at all in this match, and UK did ban hybrid 2, so maybe that's a sign. They will opt for a timeout though. I can definitely see why. There's a lot of decisions to be made here. Do you go for your LN4, or do we test the waters a little bit with the hybrids? It all comes down to this.
What a moment to test the waters as well on the last possible pick.
Yeah, just at this point in time
to make. I can't imagine Hong Kong wanting to go with hybrid 3 at this point. That feels like too much of a risk.
Yeah, I think Hong Kong maybe at this point thinking maybe we should have picked second or first, whatever. The pick order should have been reversed, you know? It all comes down to this. If Hong Kong had the first pick or second pick, whichever other way it was, then United Kingdom would have to make this choice already. And Hong Kong might actually be feeling much more comfortable. But now they have the choice to make, which is both a good and bad thing.
Yeah, well, they've been dealing with the pressure so far in this match from behind. This time no different. They are still behind in the match just by 1 point. And really having a good think about this.
I'm so nervous. I think a hybrid 1 or an LN4, the two maps I'm thinking, maybe leading towards the LN4, but I don't know. The LN2 and LN3 were so close. And just playing a new hybrid just seems... It is just a gamble, but does that gamble pay off? Weighing our options here.
I guess the tiebreaker is also a hybrid, so if you're planning on winning one of the hybrids anyway, you know, might give you the boost that you need for the tiebreaker after that.
going back to what you were saying earlier, if we don't get a tiebreaker, I think we've just been robbed. This has been such a close match, such an intense match between these two teams. We need a tiebreaker.
I think everyone watching wants a tiebreaker right now. They feel like they deserve it, for sure. I deserve a tiebreaker, especially one of the Osu original songs coming out here. Hasn't been played yet this weekend.
But can Hong Kong take us there, is the question. Still thinking about what map to play. The timeout will be running eventually, but Hybrid 3!
I don't know whether it's the best option, but I love it anyway.
This match has been down to the wire, has been so close in every single map that has been played, and now we're finally getting into Hybrid 3, the only hybrid that has been picked in this entire match.
And I mean, I guess thinking about it kind of in a logical way, this also kind of makes sense. Because if you think about all the maps that Hong Kong have won on the LNs in particular, they've all come from misses from the United Kingdom. The misses is why they have managed to win out on all of those LN picks so far that they've won. And if you think about maps where, you know, you're inducing the other team to miss, this is definitely the one to look at. Very, very volatile patterns on this one.
Yeah, same as that for both teams. Both teams have been losing points in the back of one random choke, whether it's a miss or an accuracy drop. I think that has been a decider in almost every single map that has been played so far. So both teams, this is the time where each team, each country is going to be trying their hardest to get that combo. I do think UK, as seen throughout the rest of this match, is ahead in ratio, but only by maybe 2300s in total. It's been so close that if both teams perform at an equal level, I think UK will take this, but that has not been the case throughout this match. We've seen random chokes and accuracy drops from both teams that anything can happen in this point. Anything that Hong Kong could have picked would have been somewhat risky.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're just going straight out for the riskiest of them all. And I mean, also, like, kind of going back to what you said, if both teams do end up performing at the same level, if they all FC, then United Kingdom should have a little bit of an accuracy advantage. But that's exactly why the Hong Kong would have picked the one map. I do not expect to see 6 FCs on this. No way.
And that is potentially the final blast. Good luck, have fun. Entered into chat by both teams. Can Hong Kong take us to tiebreaker, or will UK steal it from them just shy of it? 6-4. All to be determined by this Hybrid 3. This is it.
The last regular pick we're going to be seeing, and the nerves have to be at an all-time maximum for all of these players.
The very slow intro, really building up for what's to come. I am already nervous for all these players on just this section alone. I can't possibly be imagining what stress, maybe adrenaline that these players are going through right now.
Oh, and these patterns are just so cruel as well in a time like this.
Spaniard dude actually dropping to 98% accuracy. What happened there?
Just a bit of a mess up on one of those early bursts, it seems. But still should have plenty of time to recover the accuracy, of course. That combo is going to matter a lot more than the accuracy in the end if we do see misses coming out.
So this is still just intro. Zubin jumping at 200 there, actually, in one of the LNs. Hong Kong with only a 1,000 point lead, but is nothing in the grand scheme of things as the map finally begins.
On Zubin finding the first miss here. United Kingdom and 2 in response for Hong Kong. Kuraha and Koshapen both finding misses, and Quotient as well. It's a full team wipe for Hong Kong. United Kingdom in the lead by 10,000 points in the blink of an eye.
3 misses coming out from Hong Kong, only 1 from UK. UK, if they hold on to this combo, with such a lead accuracy shouldn't make too much of a difference at all. But still, 3 minutes of map, only a minute and a half to go. If we saw 3 misses come up from Hong Kong, we can definitely see it from UK.
Accuracy also now in favor of UK, though. Koshapen dropping down to the 99.4 after those breaks. And Quotient finding another miss. That's a repeated one. 18,000 points and climbing for the UK. They're starting to run away with this last pick.
Oh, and Koshapen with another miss as well. United Kingdom looking so dominant on this last pick. Hong Kong not so comfortable. 27,000 points in UK's favor and climbing with only a quarter of the map left to go. I'm still going to say it's doable in case we a triple team miss. Standard and Quotient do trade it though. Koshapen with another miss now, and that might just be it.
Yeah, that is a messy miss at the end for Koshapen. There's not much time in the map, and 41,000 points. This is not recoverable whatsoever here. Iron still the only full combo in the lobby with a 99.7. It's looking like United Kingdom has managed to pull out ahead in this match.
I can't help but believe it must just be the nerves from all these players. And especially going into a map like this as your last pick. That might just be the thing that comes back to bite them.
Have to respect the decision though for this pick. I can't hate the decision no matter what the outcome was. This was a risky pick, but it always was going to be. And United Kingdom going to profit from it in the end, 6-4. They managed to pull off the, I don't even want to call it a seeding upset. These two teams are exactly the same in skill level.
And what a way to end it. A match that has been within 10,000 points in every single map to end it on a 50,000 point lead in UK's favor to take the match 6-4. I guess good news is none of these teams actually being eliminated, just Hong Kong being shifted down to the losers bracket. But what an incredible fight both teams put up against each other in today's show up.
Absolutely. Massive props to all the players. So many absolutely nail-biting maps in this match. And United Kingdom coming out on top. They get the prize of versing China next week in the winners bracket semifinals.
Yeah, and just to mention again, Hong Kong not out of the tournament just yet. They will be moving down to the losers bracket where I'm sure they'll put up an incredible fight and could even see each other again in the losers bracket if UK lose to China and fate aligns. So Hong Kong's still in it, and with how they performed today, I would not be surprised to see them make it really far in the losers bracket.
Yeah, that losers bracket is being stacked up very, very far. I think there's some crazy potential for matches. I'm looking at, let's have a look. Philippines, Hong Kong, Canada, Thailand, Korea, Vietnam, Indonesia. Oh, that is a bit messed up, I would have to say.
Yeah, good luck to any team that is now playing in the losers bracket. With how scary that losers bracket looks, what does that mean for the winners bracket? Now, there's only, I believe, 4 teams or
yeah,
four matches
teams in the winners bracket. 4 teams in the winners bracket for semi-finals. They have all been decided already. I do believe that's going to be United Kingdom now versus China, and the United States versus Chile, I believe.
Yeah, it's definitely got some banger matches ahead of us, but with that coming to a close now, we do have one match from now, 50 minutes from now, 17 UTC, so don't go anywhere. But I do believe there's one more thing that we must mention, Potassium.
Oh yes, what might that thing be?
Well, I, for one, have been really struggling with making my profile look as good as possible. I want to be as presentable, to look as clean, and to represent the teams that I support. So there's only one way that I can think of doing that, and that is banners. Mania World Cup has team banners that you can display on your profile at the low cost of $2.50 USD. You can have as many banners as you want on your profile, support as many teams as you want, or the same team many times. There is no limit to how much you can support. So if you want to make your profile look as clean as some of these insane profiles that we've seen already, then go down to the Osus store and buy some banners today. But with that being said, Potassium, that is it from this match, and I look forward to the Spain versus Peru match 48 minutes from now. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you then.
Bye.
multiverse, the allure of traveling through parallel universes beckons intrepid adventurers. Each universe presents distinct laws of physics, alternate histories, and uncharted wonders. As we journey, we encounter reflections of ourselves and ponder the myriad possibilities life holds within. Guided by curiosity and a thirst for knowledge, we embrace the thrill of discovery amidst the enigmatic landscapes. This cosmic odyssey, the dance with destiny, reaffirms the indomitable spirit of human curiosity, a feeling that the wonders of the multiverse are limitless. 「
Hello everyone! Welcome to the Oceania 4K World Cup 2025. We've had some insane matches all across the board, almost having a tiebreaker on two of these matches as well. But now, we're going to be at the final stretch of this tournament, with these two teams being the final ones to decide who will make it to the last spot of the semifinals weekend, which is going to be between Spain and Peru. This is Lively Peninsula, and joining me on the commentary booth is none other than Dynascape. Hello, how are you doing today?
Doing great, Lively Peninsula. And this weekend has been lively, to be honest with you. This is the last match for the quarterfinals, if I'm not mistaken, and this should be a very good one. Spain getting through the conditionals by beating Argentina 6-2, Peru beating Netherlands 6-3, and I think that these teams are close enough where, yes, we did not get the tiebreaker for last match, but we might get it for this match.
There's definitely potential for that, and I really do hope so, because man, we've had a lot of close calls. I really do want to see the tiebreaker being played, just because it's an OSU original, and it's a very good one at that. So, with a very nice roll, definitely nice because they are able to beat out Dendro here. So they're going to be able to take control of the first protect and also having the first pick as well.
Yeah, as per game plan, I would probably say that Spain is going to stay in the LN section, as Spain and Peru playing about 8 and 9 maps respectively in their last match this weekend. We have a little bit of info. Spain and Peru probably did their due diligence, saw the other opposing team's matches, and LN3 definitely was one of the higher discrepancies in terms of scoring. Spain getting about a 2.54 million team score would have beat Peru by about 45,000 points, so that's a really good protect from them. Peru is going to protect Rice 2, also I think probably the perfect protect for them, as well as on Endro, the jump stream map. They would have beaten Spain by about 49,000 points. So very good research coming in from both teams, and yeah, I think this was the perfect protect phase. What do you think is going to happen during the bans?
I expect a lot of adjustments to happen here. It's going to be a bit difficult for me to be able to really 100% assess the situation, because both countries, well, they're very good in a lot of aspects. But at the same time, there's been matches where, let's say, Peru didn't have Anku in, I think that was round of 16. I do hope to see everyone present in this match. That's the first thing that I really want to see. Spain banning LN makes a lot of sense. Peru has some really good LN players. As for Peru banning... Wait, sorry, my bad. Sorry, I think I got the bans wrong. My bad. Okay. Peru banning LN makes a lot of sense. But actually, I don't know. I think it could have been a better ban. As for Spain banning Rice, that also surprises me. I was expecting Spain to ban a hybrid. Maybe hybrid 3 in that.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there, where there is the knowledge where Spain could have banned something like Kinetic Flux of hybrid 2. I kind of get the fake ban just because it's such a weird LN map that I guess Peru doesn't want to deal with it at all. As for first pick though, Peru just has a lot of different options. They have something like, even though Rice 3 was banned, they did very well on Andrew Rice 2, so I think that could be the first choice. But no, they're going to stick with Korjak, and this is also a good choice. These straightforward accuracy type Rice maps are kind of Peru's bread and butter right now.
This is a very interesting pick to start. Usually teams have picked the Korjak like in the middle of the match, not necessarily early on. I think they're gonna bank on Anku having a really good score. I did see that 100% from Anku, by the way, on Danger and Danger. But I'm not sure if Spain played it. I don't think they did. So they're gonna bank on their performance being enough against Peru here, which could go wrong. It could go wrong if they aren't careful, but can really pay off if they're really willing to take the risk.
Yeah, just to remind everyone with how it went for the Netherlands match with Peru, Aku getting 7 grades out of approximately 2,300 notes, had that unofficial V2SS with that 100%, but Lolito and Eric did take misses, so as long as both of them can clean up those scores, I think they should be fine. It's just, you've already missed once in match with Lolito and Eric, but now we have Dendro instead of Eric coming in. So with Ime Abril and Nico Blaze on Spain, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this because, the inconsistency is already there. It's on the record for Peru. And you're already fighting a good team like Spain. I don't know if Spain has that innate accuracy, but you can still bank on the inconsistency from Peru if you're Spain.
I'm so curious, really. I just think that with the information that Spain has from Peru, I do apologize. I got the picks wrong. I've been getting some wrong. I do apologize. How about that? But hey,
Been a long weekend.
yeah, it's been a very long weekend. I think Spain is hoping that Peru finds the misses that they had, which I'm going to see again. Yeah, Peru did have like 3 misses across the board. So I think Spain's gonna bank on hoping to have a triple FC and just overall overpowering Peru. We have to see though if that consistency is present because this can really say a lot about the other picks in the future.
Oh yeah, for sure, because if Peru is able to secure their first point, it'll bode well for them in the other straightforward time maps. I know they're probably going to be gunning for Endro, as well as probably something like Rice 6 afterwards. But for now, Spain actually having a little bit of an advantage, and that's because of Lolito taking a drop in accuracy as Spain, everyone at 99.9, and same thing with Peru, besides Lolito, as we said, third of the map in, and Spain holds just the tiniest bit of an advantage.
Yeah, it's really just that difference from Lolito, but there's so many patterns in this chart which can make you miss. There are some anchors here, some rolls even. So, it didn't even happen on the roll, so that miss from Dendro, that's what Spain is banking on this entire time.
Yeah, and it turns out their gamble paid off as Spain now in the firm lead of 10,000 points. We're halfway in, and with the density, the anchors are getting a little crazy, but everyone holding on tight. Dendro able to get back up to combo cap. Lito recovering their accuracy from that earlier drop by just a little bit, but it's not enough. Spain too strong right now. Still all 3 players above 99.9. Ime almost matching Anku even.
Yeah, that's an amazing effort from Spain. A 30,000 point lead isn't exactly safe, but it's still something. And as long as they're able to have like that accuracy advantage against Peru, which they probably have a good ability to be able to keep it in. However, it's still not over yet. There's still a little bit of the chart, although it's not as technical as some of the other parts before. So I think this pick really made a lot of sense for Spain, and just like that, secured the first point. Very, very good accuracy lead as well.
Yeah, I think as we bring up all 6 scores here, Spain was just the better core jack team, better MA. Those misses didn't matter from Dendro, the 50 didn't matter, the 200s from Lolito didn't matter. They just outright would have beaten Peru in an act battle on core jack, which is, I would say, a little bit surprising, but Spain always, they haven't shown the best scores this weekend on some of the Rice picks, but surely they've got to be one of the stronger Korjak squads. And now Spain with that first break point, they're gonna go up 1-0 and have this next
No,
pick.
no. Just a correction. No, it wasn't a break point. I apologize. I said this was Peru's pick. So
Oh, wait.
this, you know, I
No,
do
we're
apologize
actually
for that.
crazy today.
Wait,
Like,
wait. So,
there-
so, so you also thought this was Peru's pick? Oh
yeah,
my
no,
god.
I
Okay.
thought this was Peru's pick.
Oh my
That's so
gosh.
insane.
We're both confused. It's okay. It's okay. All good. All good. I guess you could say that you really have to pay attention for it. It's okay. Now it's gonna be Bison Charge. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what to feel about this. Just because I think Spain's hybrid score in the qualifiers, and even though it's a qualifiers, you know, even though this isn't like round of 16 or any other stage of the tournament, the qualifiers tend to be around the mid range, like they're around quarterfinals. So I actually do wonder, because I think Spain has a really good hybrid 2 score on qualifiers. One second, let me double check that. But again,
Yeah.
like what I said, I'm just not sure about this pick from Peru right now.
It's gonna be really interesting. Most teams don't really pick Hybrid 1 as their first choice. Usually, most teams delve into Rice or LN at first. And even within them, the subsections of do I want to go for the Kojak now that there's two picks, or do I want to just go for the density since we are the better LN team? So Peru picking Bison Charge is quite interesting, especially since Spain didn't play it in their match against Argentina. There's no really notable things, and I wouldn't even say that Peru got a crazy team score on it either. We had one miss from Dendro last time, and both Lolito and Anku had about a 988. So if Spain's able to, match the accuracies yet again, we could be looking at the first breakpoint.
Okay, I just looked at it now. I get it now. So in qualifiers, Hybrid 2, Peru was number 7, Spain was number 16. And to give fairness to Peru, Spain picked something that, Spain picked something that Peru played in. So now Peru's trying to do the opposite. So Peru played this, Spain didn't. I guess Peru is trying to show that even with a performance like that, they can beat Spain. So that's probably their confidence right now. And I'm actually a bit nervous because if since what you said is true, so that Spain didn't play this chart, this is gonna be another one of those gamble. But they might be basing it off the qualifier results, which right now I can definitely say Peru has an advantage just based off the qualifier hybrid 2 score.
Yeah, so might be interesting to see how this map goes down. This map, very, very speedy. A lot of hybridy bursts, so you gotta be on your toes when you're fighting your way through this map. You already see a little taste of it in this intro.
Yeah, this intro is very deadly. There are some technical rice parts, those mini jacks and anchors that can really make you miss or drop some act. Oh well, right on cue as Victor finds a drop. However, this is not safe. Peru, despite having this right now, there's so many parts in this first half that can really make you unstable. But seems like Peru has gotten through a lot of that. Very, very good runs from everyone so far. It's really just that one miss. I do think Peru still has the lead even without that though, just because of that accuracy advantage Anku has over Abril.
Exactly, you have Lito about the same as Victor, but Victor did take the miss. Then Drew about the same as Ime. So all players pretty well matched up evenly, but that miss really hurting Spain as we go to this last little Ki section. It's very truly very quick, and of course you gotta watch out for the end. Victor not able to keep up yet again, so another miss coming through for Spain. Crew extending their lead to 18,000 points, and here is the last Ki. Is anything able to happen? The thing that happens is not what Spain wants though, as Abril falls, and Ime, the only FC, Crew gonna take it. So now it's tied up 1-1.
Wow, okay. So just from that, so that qualifier hybrid 2 score really does make sense now. If you're going to look at this, seems like hybrids is something that Peru can take an advantage on against Spain. So this probably opens the door for some long notes too, which is kind of weird if you think about it, because if I'm not mistaken, Peru's span was LN4. I could be wrong about that, but I think that
Yeah,
was
it was
their
Ellen 4.
Okay, yeah, it was indeed LN4, and Spain banned Rise 3. I honestly think just something I realized, but I was expecting that to be a little bit of the opposite. Like I was expecting a Spain to ban the LN while Peru banning the Rise. Was really surprising to me. I would have expected Peru to ban Rise and Spain to ban LN. So honestly, very interesting dynamic that we're seeing right now.
It is pretty interesting. I think Spain just with everyone in the lobby can get on with the map. This is Golden Array. It's Spain's second pick. They're gonna try to go up 2-1, and no breakpoints yet. Brew gonna try to make that change.
takes a breakpoint off of Spain. Spain, that ratio difference is significantly in favor of Spain, but the misses were way too much. That even if that's the case, Peru takes the point.
Yeah, pretty rough showing for Spain, and especially that's something you don't want to see on their pick. However, I think they should still feel good about choosing the other LNs. I mean, they had a total of 7 misses on the side of Spain and still was able to close that gap to about 3,000 points. So, yes, they are pretty dominant in terms of accuracy. As long as they can hold 1 or 2 FCs, they should have been gonna have to scramble for any other points across the board. And yeah, like you said, they are gonna pick Hybrid 3.
Yeah, that's definitely the choice to make, in my opinion. The thing about Hybrid 3 is it's very chokeable. You can miss a lot of times, and there's a lot of Ellen that can really make you struggle here. And Peru has that ability to be able to keep it ahead. I think Peru has to keep Indendro, Lolito, maybe Anku in. Whoever played Bison Charge should stay. So I do think that was Anku. Yeah, Anku, Lalito, and Dendro. That's the trio. As for Spain, I'm expecting the same players that we saw. So, I actually do think Peru, this might be a good pick for Peru here.
Yeah, this is one of the only 2 maps, the other being Rise 5, where neither team played this. We don't really have any info on it when you kind of look at past results. However, like you said, Peru does really well on hybrids. They did well on Hybrid 1, they did well on Hybrid 2 in the qualifiers. They should feel pretty good going into Cherry Blossoms just because of the pure speed that you see in the map and the weirder, funkier hybrid patterns. They're not as straightforward as Hybrid 1 at all, but I think, the speed is there to catch out Spain and force out a couple of misses.
Yeah, that's gonna be the problem here. Spain has been the inconsistent team right now. Even though Peru found the miss on that Korjak pick, it's not really the case after in 2 charts where Spain has been the team to find more misses.
Very calm start, as it's just a prelude to what's to come. And what's to come is a lot of very scathing, very, very physical patterns. And we start off with a little bit of finesse needed here, as there are a lot of multi-lane holds, some inverse, I guess slower inverse, but Spain coming out with a little bit of a lead, and that's really just off of the back of Lolito not having the best time. I think a couple of 200s from them, a late 200 here, an early 200 there, and this like 1,000 point lead doesn't really matter too much, because as we ramp up here, we're gonna see where the accuracies lie.
But hey, even if accuracies lie there, if you can't stay consistent on these Jack's anchors, that's not gonna matter too much. And that's 2 in a row already. Although Peru has had some moments where they don't have the best act, like in the case of Lalita right now, as long as they hold very strong in the consistency with these roles, they will be golden. There's so many parts in this chart which could really make you miss here.
Yeah, no, we've already seen that from Victor and Ime. One miss each from them. Abril trying their best to try to match Peru, and they're doing well. I mean, Abril top of the pack right now. It's just those two misses really hurt. About 7,000 points for Peru, but I do think that they can probably make it up as long as they're able to FC, and especially with the help of Lolito dropping.
Seems like, ooh, that's 2 miss in a row from Lolito. 3 actually. Okay, this part is a very miss-heavy part. So any player here who will drop, there we go. See, the thing about this is like there's a lot of rolls, a lot of mini jacks, a lot of LNs, so you'll really be unstable playing this section.
Yeah, especially with the different snappings of the LNs, and you compare it with how you have to hit Rice along with the shorter LNs, with Abril missing as well as Victor. Now it's swung over to Peru. This is kind of one of those matches where it seesaws in big favors, and you know, we're getting to the end here. Peru just a little bit of a lead, but every time they get a lead, someone misses. Dendro is next up to fall.
Yeah, that's scary. There's only 4,000 points left. 3,000. It's actually continuing to go lower because that miss from Dendro is very, very dirty. No one missed at the final mini jack. Everyone kept their cool at the very end, and just like that, it was more than enough to secure a win for Peru. But if you were Spain, now being down 3-1, that's a difficult position to be in. Emi with only one great. You know what? I'm seeing a trend here. Spain tends to have the better accuracy, more stable in general, but they just really cannot secure those full combos, or at least they miss a bit earlier, and that really just cost them a few charts already.
Yeah, I think this map was pretty much separated by one miss. If Ime didn't miss, or if anyone else didn't miss one less time, and shout out to Anku who had the only FC on the map. If they had missed, Spain would have taken that point 100%. So good on them for having that only FC on the map. Peru, well deserved, but very close point. And they're immediately going to be hit with Toki. So this is quite interesting to see Spain pick yet another Rice map. Gonna have to see how this goes, and it's quite interesting as well because again, like we talked about, they still had LN2 and LN3 up, you know, and one of them was their Protect. But to see them go for Rice when their backs are currently against the wall is a little interesting.
Imagine picking this on high pressure situation, especially being down 3-1. That's gonna take a lot of confidence, just because any mistake here is going to be very detrimental. Think about Toki's, like look at the length, it's very short. With the nature of the chart, it's very technical. So you're really only given such a small margin of error here, and a single mistake can change the course of the entire chart. So now here, we've seen Spain miss more than we've seen Peru miss. So they're really gonna gamble a lot. I am a bit scared for Spain here on this choice.
Yeah, I am a little bit worried, but you know, Spain has shown us that they are pretty good, at least when it comes to jack heavier maps. And obviously this is a whole different beast, but a lot of Toki is, you know, dealing with the very long jack anchors with the Rice around it. So, you know, they should be okay, I think. And you know, there's a reason why they chose it. It's just that when you're facing very good Rice players like Dendro and Anku, it can get really scary really quick.
Okay, to be fair, so I'm looking at the previous match. They do have information on Toki where Peru did actually lose the pick against the Netherlands. So Spain is banking on Peru to perform here. So there is a important swap out here. That was Eric playing, and now we have Lalito playing. So they're probably banking on consistency here, which I think is a good move. But hey, Spain's accuracy is really tough to beat. Though we've seen Spain miss on very crucial moments. So if that trend continues, then this is not looking good for Spain still.
Yeah, it seems like top two players for Spain just a little bit behind top two players for Peru. Victor trying to make up that deficit, and especially with Lolito taking a couple of early 200s and Anku breaking, this means that Spain firmly in the lead. This is only a minute 35 map, one of the shortest maps in the pools that we've seen so far. So with a fourth left, Spain, good cushion to work with.
So 15,000 is not safe, because any mistake on those mini jacks, those anchors, that lead is gone. But hey, Spain has somehow kept their consistency. Lalito finding a massive drop. The confidence to pick this in a high pressure situation after missing so much should be commended. And now Spain with a commanding victory against Peru on this pick. 26,000 points. 200s, the only ones being dropped from Spain. And as for Peru, they actually do have the best ratio here, but I think with Lalito's accuracy, that would have probably not been enough to beat Spain. But
Yeah, I mean,
wow,
what a team score from Spain. Only 200s on each side, and then an average of about like 994. That's a really good score on a map like Toki.
2984 would beat so many teams in this tournament. So now Peru, do they go hybrid too? I mean, they can. I think Peru will go for hybrid too, but they gotta play more consistently. Because while hybrid 1 was a bit more safe in terms of a lead, hybrid 3 was extremely close. So now, oh, really? I'm not sure what to feel about this pick actually.
I think that, Peru should probably feel really good, honestly. Enjo was one of their best performing maps from this weekend, and I think they can really replicate it. It shouldn't be too bad. Dendro and Anku getting Dendro almost getting a 999 on this map, and then Anku almost getting a 998. So you already know that you're going to have two players that are very consistent on Rice and are able to get extremely high scores. The problem is their third player going to be enough to match the third player on Spain?
That is true. I actually do find it interesting as well that, both teams haven't really swapped out players often. So that's something you gotta keep in mind. Because fatigue can definitely be a factor. And that's something I'm a bit afraid of for both teams. Because the moment your fatigue really kicks in, it can really damage your chance of performing to your best. So now, I really do hope both teams are prepared for situations like this.
Yeah, and this is one of the maps where both teams have played before, so you should probably expect around a 995 from each of the players on Spain. And like I talked about, or well, maybe a 993 or around there. Honestly, Spain struggled quite a bit on Andrew against Argentina earlier, where Abril had 4 misses, Victor had 4 misses as well, and these two players are still in here. So I don't know what to think. I mean, the accuracy was there for them. It's just they were very, very unstable. 4 misses is a lot on a jump stream map. So we're gonna have to see if the inconsistency is still lingering from last match. Peru, like I said, very good on maps like these. Expect very high scores. It all really rests on, will Peru miss? And if so, is Spain able to capitalize on that? Because I don't know if the accuracy differential will be enough.
I will say though, the lone full combo of Spain in the previous time we played this was Nico 777 plays. And I don't even think and he's not even playing here. So that's gonna be a bit of an interesting decision. Though like what you said, it's really just dependent on the chokes. Because there's so many parts here which can really make you unstable. I've been saying that phrase a lot. But that's the thing about pools like this. There's just so many parts where you could be playing something straightforward and then suddenly something will make your hands shaky and that will kill your run.
So far, no run killers here. Things are swapping a little bit back over to Peru, but it's really back and forth right now. Things are pretty close. I mean, like I said, Dendronaku having stellar accuracy, but Abril finally taking the fall, so a big lead coming through for Peru, and this is the first that we've seen. We're halfway into the map, so things can still be rectified, but they need to happen soon.
There's still around a third of the map left, so it's definitely not over yet. But with these trills, I can definitely see a scenario where Peru somehow gets unstable, but right now Spain is the one that's looking that and really starting to get scared because, again, like what I said, only a little bit of the chart left. There's still some potential here. Can everyone remain consistent on these drills? I think it's gonna be a yes here.
Yeah, not a lot of time left now, and Peru, pretty good lead. 7,000 points is enough to where it's late enough where you can take a miss, but it does not seem so as the final quad LN comes through. Another great team score from Peru. Gonna have to see as the scores load in. Yeah, 998.5, almost a 999 from Dendro. So yet again, Dendronaku recreating their magic from last match. Unfortunately, Spain not able to catch up, and that miss honestly looks like it wouldn't have mattered.
No, actually, it may have been enough because I'm looking at the difference. It was like around 6,000 points, right? Had a Brill full combo, that could have been like 996 or something like that. So just from that, Spain could have actually won this had that miss not been there. Like it would have been very close for sure. So that miss really decided that Peru was gonna take it.
That is true, kind of doing the math on the 300s. I'll have to tally that up later and see really how close it was because, yeah, you're right. Even Peru had one more 200 as well. So, I mean, very close match regardless. Peru sweating by with another point, and they're up 4-2. There's a bit of an upset in the rumblings right now as Spain up next to pick. Again, they have a lot of good choices. LN2, LN3. It can still be done. They are still able to tie this match up, but it's gonna have to start with something. And I really do feel like that something is going to be in the bottom half of the map pool.
Very much so. So yeah, okay, Spain go for LN3. Okay, I can understand why. LN3 is very choke heavy. Even though Spain has been the team that has been choking a lot more, if you were to actually look at the previous match, which is Spain versus Argentina, Spain had an extremely good score in Planet Shaper. So I'm not surprised. Even if they were choking a lot today, their accuracy here I think should be more than enough. That even if they miss, they can probably beat Peru here. So I'm expecting Sophie the Koi here for Peru.
Yeah, I would expect Sophie as well, as they're usually the hybrid slash LN player. And I'm not sure who to expect for the other slot. It's probably going to be Dendro Lolito if I had to take a guess. But, you know, we've only seen one LN map so far. Yes, Lolito does come in. This is Planet Shaper, so it's a little bit physical. You know, there's a lot of choky parts, especially during the shieldy sections. And like we saw on Golden Ray, I mean, Spain flubbed over that point to Peru by way of them having just like 7-8 misses on the map and Peru having a triple FC but lower accuracy. So are we going to see that again?
I just don't see a triple FC happening right now. Because number one, very high pressure situation. And number two, Peru, like, here's the thing with charts like this. This is like one of those charts that I just don't see a low actual combo happening super often, just because of the nature of LF3s. These kinds of charts are very choke heavy. With the shields, you will definitely find yourself a lot of misses here. So it's either you get a clean FC, clean miss, or just a dirty run overall. So those are the highest chances. And I just think that if Peru will rely on combo, I don't think it's gonna be that straightforward compared to like the previous LN pick, which was LN1.
Yeah, I think for a map like this, usually it comes down to you either have it or you don't. At least in terms of shields, it's one of those skill sets where, if you were not very accuracy focused on it, you're probably struggling a little bit in terms of physicality or reading. And so Spain choosing Planet Shaper, I think that they are able to take this point as long as they can just really lock it in. And like we said, this was actually their protect. They would have won if, we're taking past matches from this weekend. They would have won by 45,000 points. So there's already a big accuracy discrepancy there. As long as they can have the combo and not take repeated drops, or at least as long as they can take less repeated drops than Peru, they should be fine on this map.
Yeah, that's the problem though. With such a big difference, this is exactly why Spain would want to pick this. Like what I said, even with a lot of misses, they can definitely have the accuracy. And that's really all Spain has to do. Ensure that their accuracy is way too far ahead that even if they miss a lot, it's still gonna be a victory. And that's what they're doing right now. Except Victor finding a drop. Oh, that's not looking good.
Still very much so salvageable. I mean, look at the accuracies on Ime and Abril compared to the rest of the Peruvian cast. As long as Victor gets back up to the combo cap, which he does, things are going to start to lean over towards Spain's side. And really just need to hold on the combo like we said. Peru, not one person above a 99.7, whereas we have a 99.83 on Ime. Jacks are still coming in, lots of weirder shields, and Abril is gonna take the fall, so I think that's like 3 misses to 1. Things are gonna start to look kind of scary for Spain, and it just seems like they can't hold combo yet again on an LN map where they should be winning, and Victor dropping, so now lead extended.
It's not even 3 misses to 1, more like 5 misses to none. Never mind, I was about to say that, but Sophie with a massive drop, that's what I was seeing. If Spain missed, oh, there we go. See, this is the cushion that Spain was looking for. Like, even if Peru had the lead, if they miss, it was gonna be more dirty. But Victor misses at that part. It could still very well be a Peru win because there's a lot of mini jacks still at this ending.
Yeah, what an exciting match. So many little misses from everyone. You almost saw a full board wipe as we had 4 players miss at around the same time. Abril and Anku, the only ones with some semblance of a combo, and Anku, the only FC left. However, this map is about to end. There's almost no difficulty left. And as the dust settles, we see Spain 3,000 point lead. As long as no one lifts their hands off the keyboard at the end, Spain should be able to secure this point and live to fight on at 3-4.
Very, very close one. 3,000 points. At this point, I don't know what Peru's gotta pick. I don't think Hybrid 2 is safe. Wow, that's scored for almost a V1SS from Ime. Anku with the only full combo. Almost bringing the victory to Peru here, but that was just not gonna be enough.
Yeah, it seemed like a lot of people couldn't handle the physicality that was needed towards the end, but it still favored Spain again just by way of having better accuracy. So Spain gonna hold on to their point, Peru the next point, and they have a couple of choices still left in the right section, if I had to say. But they are picking to try to get to match point, so it's a very important one to take.
So, wait a second. You're kidding, right? Is Peru actually picking LN2? No. I'm not. I don't know what to feel about this.
No
pick,
way.
actually. I don't think I like this pick because with this tells me one thing. They're gonna be banking on Spain to miss a lot. And we know that they have the axe superiority.
Yeah, this is a bold move by Peru if I were to undersell it. LN2 is super crazy. This is what we thought Spain would have delved into after Peru's pick, but no, Peru is actually going to straight up just finish off the LN maps in the pool and try to take this one. This is really interesting. Why do you think they took this?
They're probably banking on the fact that Spain is still missing a lot, which is true. Spain did have a full team miss. But hey, Peru's accuracy, in my opinion, just isn't really on the level that Spain's at. So that's my biggest concern. Are you really going to be hoping for Spain to miss a lot? Well, to be fair, it has happened in most of the charts. I think the only chart which Spain has a triple full combo on, or one of them, two of them rather, was the Korjak pick and actually Toki. So like that's a big variance there. Toki is very technical, yet they full combo that. But with some of the other picks, they've missed on those. So Peru is taking a big gamble here. And I do agree that risks have to be taken. I just don't think this is the best risk to take right now.
Yeah, I thought that they had an abundance of rice maps where, Denju and Aku could probably get a good enough score to stave off some of the Spaniard players, or even, I think one of the hybrids was open, right? Hybrid 2, was it not?
I think. Okay. To give more perspective on Hybrid 2, let me double check something real quick. Both teams played Hybrid 2,
Yeah,
and Peru has a
a better
29,000
score.
advantage. 29,000 advantage. So that's actually massive. I don't think, just from what I'm seeing, 29,000 point advantage on Peru, they probably they missed it in my opinion. They just almost won Planet Shaper and they won both of the hybrids. In my opinion, they should have went hybrid too.
Oh yeah, I 100% agree that Hybrid 2 probably was the play here. But, Peru gonna have to live with this one, and this is their pick. Maybe they are feeling something that Spain doesn't see, so we're gonna have to see how this all pans out as we finally get into the density section, see how innate accuracies lie, and as Peru, everyone drops under a 99.6 as we look over towards Spain and just see Ime and Abril with great accuracies. You have to wonder, was this the choice for Peru?
I really don't think so. I was actually looking at the scores for both multiplayer links. And Spain has a big advantage. It's like around 25,000 points or more. So again, Peru is just banking on the fact that Spain might miss. Because to be fair, they have been missing the entire match. I just don't think this is the pick where Spain misses a lot on because of how straightforward it is compared to like the other picks in this pool.
And I mean, so far it doesn't look like Spain is gonna miss. You talk about how they're probably banking on for Spain to miss. To be honest, even on Planet Shaper, Peru is missing a lot. So you're banking on two factors: Spain to miss and Peru not to miss, right? And that's a very risky play. You don't really want two conditions to be satisfied in order for you to win. And currently, none of them are being satisfied. Peru, accuracy not super great. Luluso did get it up to 99.73. It's almost matching Ime, but it's just not enough. That second and third man differential is huge as we get a 10,000 point lead for Spain, and no one has fallen in combo at all.
Yeah, no misses on Spain. Again, this is a very interesting situation. Victor does find a miss, but what? Oh, is this what Peru's been banking on this entire time? Because that was two massive drops. Oh wow, three massive drops. Oh my, no way.
There's no way.
There is no way. Wow, Peru with the triple full combo, despite not the best accuracy, that was just more than enough. Their gamble paid off very hard. I'm at a loss of words. What just happened?
I think Peru set up a booby trap in the later half of the map. I think they did some like witch's curse, casted a hex on Spain or something because like we talked about, this was not a point that we'd expect to go that way, and Peru sliding by the skin of their teeth on a map that they had no business in winning, getting to match point. If it works, it works.
I just didn't think that it would work like that. That was actually crazy. Peru's gamble worked, and now Spain's going for rice 5. Oh my gosh, I had to count. I had to count. Wow, I just saw that. Okay, Peru versus Spain on this. That's a very interesting decision. Cause right now, I just think that I'm gonna double check something real quick. So Spain won on Toki, but lost on Enjo. They won on the core jack. This chart combines a lot of tech, core jack streams, something like that. I'm not sure what to feel about this pick, honestly. Because I think the moment Spain finds misses, Peru takes it. Peru has been so consistent.
Yeah, they've been looking pretty good on these rice maps so far. And Grosso's Castle, it's kind of scary. Spain doesn't have a lot of good choices left. With Peru taking out that last Alan pick, they definitely don't want to go into Kinetic Flux. So they kind of are forced into this rice conundrum. And Grosso's Castle going to be their weapon of choice. Spain fighting for their tournament lives in the losers bracket quarterfinals. And boy, they have quite the journey to make. They have to win this one, and they have to win Peru's pick as well if they want to get to just the TB.
I'm really interested to see what they're trying to go for here. So I'm actually just scared. I'm really scared right now. Because this is match point for Peru. And Spain has shown to have the superior act. But the consistency has really costed them very hard on the... Oh, that's an abort. That has to be an abort.
That probably isn't a board. If not, that would be... If Spain doesn't call for it now, that would be really, really unfortunate, but hopefully we can get the score sorted out. There we go.
No, it's an abort. No, it's an abort. Spain's kind of lucky that it happened at the very beginning. If this happened 30 seconds later, this would have not been considered. Just because that's how the disconnects, that's how the rule works here.
Yeah, good thing it happened at the very start, but it's also most likely to happen at the very start. At least in terms of Grosso's Castle, this is, compared to all the other Rice maps that we played, probably, you could say, most similar to Toki, though the way that the tech is featured is so much more different in terms of bursts and jacks and the interlacing between them. To be fair, Toki, Spain won quite convincingly. They had a really good team score with Email, Real, and Victor, about a 994 average, and they had just better overall accuracy along with no misses to boot. And if they're able to replicate a performance like that, they should be pretty good on this match, or at least on this chart. The tech is a lot lighter in here, so it's less strenuous, but I mean, Spain has shown that they've got some tech in their bones.
Technicality could work for Spain. It's just that with how the charts have been going recently, I just feel very scared for Spain. Just really, they do have Toki, which again, to be fair, that's a very insane score. But yeah, just moments like that make me question, is this pick really it? I would have thought Rice 1 may have been a better choice, ever so slightly.
Yeah, Rice one might have been a good choice, but Spain's gonna have to deal with this one as Abril takes a very, very early drop. If you're gonna drop, it is the best place to do it, but it is going to give over Peru a pretty large lead of about 10,000 points. Looking at the accuracies, unfortunately, Ime and Victor are not enough to stand up to Anku and Lolito and Dendro, all three of them having massive accuracy advantages.
To be fair though, we've still had some moments where Peru does find some drops. And this chart has a lot of mini jacks and anchors thrown over you. So this is definitely not over yet. But it's starting to get really scary. 10,000 points is, compared to something like Toki, which is a very volatile chart, this one is actually a bit of a safer cushion that Peru is working with right now. Then again though, Peru still has to complete the task. This is still not over yet. With all the varieties of patterns that are in here, there's so much that's being tested, and just like that, Victor finding another drop! There is no way! What is going on? And even, that's a full team miss!
Super unfortunate, silver lining is that Lolito drop, so maybe something can get started, but it's gotta be quick. A fourth of the map left, and Spain are playing their tournament lives here on this chart. Abril not even the only FC actually, as they missed very early on. Dendro and Anku need to miss now, or Lito needs to take repeated drops, but a lot of easier jacks left in this match, and there's only one Ki. I don't know if it's gonna be enough. Things are coming down to the wire.
I think it's enough. This is 17,000 points. It would take like a lot of misses from Peru for this to even be a win. But that's only one. It had to be more than this, but it's getting a lot smaller. And just like that, Peru makes it to the semifinals round. 6-3. I actually think Peru had the better act this time, just because of the ratio from Victor, and also the 200 counts overall. Anko and Dendro securing V1SSs. That's crazy though. Seed number 20 makes it to semifinals. That's actually crazy.
That's a huge upset. Well played to Peru. I'd like to issue a formal apology. I was not aware of their game, and that LN2 pick worked out for them. So very dominant win for Peru by taking 2 breakpoints from Spain on the LN sections, and also just riding along through a lot of the rice. Very comfortable on the hybrids as well. So we're going to move on to the semifinals as seed number 20. And I mean, they're going to fight South Korea in the losers bracket, so they have their work cut out for them next week, but they can definitely revel in their win for this one.
I could be wrong, but this is Peru's furthest placement in MWZ40 so far. And I also believe Spain also probably went, this might be one of their deeper runs in general. But what a match, both Spain and Peru. I saw their strategies. I also agree with you. I did not see that Peru was able to close it out like that in such a very interesting fashion. Like, they really waited for that moment to strike, and strike they did. Very, very important win. That LN2 victory really decided the entire match.
No, yeah, I have to agree with you 100%. And with that, the bracket is finalized for both the winners and the losers bracket. You see here, at least on the losers side, a lot of interesting matches. I mean, you are up against Hong Kong. Next week, we got Canada, Thailand, Korea, Peru, Vietnam, Indonesia. So a lot of Asian representation in each match. As for the winner side, pretty interesting stuff. But there's only one thing, or I guess 2 things left to do. There's the showcase over at 20 UTC, so that's going to be in about 2 hours. But before that, isn't there something else that we're missing, Lively Peninsula?
Alright, the banners! I'm pretty sure that's what we're missing right now. So if you really do want to support your teams, any team in this tournament, don't forget to, buy those banners. And like what I keep on saying, if you want to support all the 32 teams, who's stopping you from buying all the 32 banners? Am I right?
That's true, you could do that. But yes,
Yeah.
banners 100% for the price of less than 1 month of supporter. You can support your favorite teams. You can support the tournament scene that you love, Osumania, 4K World Cup. And no, just get a little bit of swag for your profile. With all that being said, hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to take a small break, so sit tight. We'll be back in 2 hours for the semifinals map pool showcase.